Hola, buenas. En el vídeo de hoy os traigo la noticia del lanzamiento de Diablo Immortal, que vamos a ver ahora cómo ha sido el stream que han hecho y os daré mi comentario por encima, ¿vale?
Hello everyone, this is Wyatt Chang, Game Director of Diablo Immortal. Thank you
Sí, este es
all
el que
for
dijo,
tuning
¿no
in
tenéis
for our
móviles?
YouTube
Sí,
premiere
este
today.
señor fue el que lo
I
dijo.
have some very exciting news that I can't wait to share with you. To
Hace ya
everyone
4
who has been
años,
eagerly
o 5.
anticipating the release of Diablo Immortal, you won't have to wait much longer. So without further ado, check it out.
Primero tenemos el tráiler. El 2 de junio sale el juego. O sea, no queda demasiado después de tantos años esperando. Pero la noticia más importante es que también podremos jugar en PC. Y sin un emulador. O sea, lo más seguro que estará en Battle.net, imagino. Tendrás un cliente de PC. Así que veremos qué tal va. Pero esto es la mejor noticia que puede haber, de que tengamos un crossplay con PC y móvil. Podemos jugar los dos. Depende si queremos jugar en casa tranquilamente o en móvil. Así que ganas le tenía ya, ahora le tengo más ganas, sabiendo que va a salir en PC. El problema es que esto ya lleva tiempo. Bueno, vamos a ver el resto de cosas que nos van a enseñar aquí.
Adam Fletcher, also known as Pez Radar. He's our community lead for all things Diablo. How's it going, Adam?
Doing great, Wyatt. I'm pretty excited for all the great announcements that we had today for Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal coming to PC along with mobile is huge, and I know the community is going to have a ton of different questions to ask related to this, and I think the biggest one will be, why PC? Why are we bringing Diablo Immortal?
Joder, porque PC, pues la gente lo quiere en PC.
Our goal with Diablo Immortal
Y todos los Diablos
Diablo
han estado en
game,
PC.
AAA experience that could reach as many players as possible. And we knew that by building it for mobile, that would be the best way to do that. Diablo Immortal is not only our first game built from the ground up for mobile, it's also our biggest and most ambitious Diablo game to date. It's gonna
Sí, porque
have
para el
rich
Diablo
feature
4
systems, it has
aún les
deep
quedan unos
progression
años.
systems that allow players to continually play the game, customize their character, and make their character more powerful over time. As we started to explore how we're going to reach new players and bring new players into the Blizzard family, we knew if our goal is to truly reach as many players as possible, we should be on PC as well.
Obvio.
By being on both mobile and PC,
Mejor tener
we
más
know
versiones
that
para abarcar
everybody
más
will be
jugadores,
able to
obviamente.
enjoy Diablo Immortal, whether or not you have a phone.
Ella ha dicho lo de tengáis o no un móvil, refiriéndose a su coña del meme que pasó hace años de no tenéis móviles.
When can they get their hands on Diablo Immortal?
Of course,
Bueno, hostia, nos lo respondió antes. Esto es el día 2 de junio.
And we're really excited to be able to announce today that we are launching on June 2nd. And later that month in select Asia Pacific regions.
No, que saldrá para Europa y para América.
I think people
Bueno,
are
igual
also
alguna
really
otra
excited to hear
alguna
a
otra
little
región.
bit more about how the game plays on PC, especially if they've been following the development of the mobile version over the past couple years.
It plays great on PC. And another thing I'm really happy to be able to share is that you have full cross-play and cross-progression. That means you could be playing on PC.
Lo mejor que pueden haber anunciado, la verdad.
They could be on mobile or PC.
Que vamos a jugar crossplay y cross-save.
And then, like, it's super cool to be at home playing on your PC, and then suddenly you realize you need to head out the door, so you just log out, grab your phone, log yourself in, you're right where
Claro, que te vengan colegas a casa y que ellos estén jugando desde el móvil y tú desde el PC. O ir tú a casa de alguien y el que esté jugando en PC y tú desde el móvil.
Diablo Immortal is coming for mobile and uses touchscreen controls. Can you explain to us like how the controls will work on PC?
Yeah, absolutely. During our last closed beta, we added controller support for mobile. And players really responded positively, telling us that they loved being able to connect a controller to their phone to play Diablo Immortal. Well, we're adding controller support to the PC version of the game as well.
Y los controles realmente, si lo hacen igual que hicieron la versión de consolas del Diablo 3, está muy bien. Se podrá jugar también con ratón y teclado, han dicho ahí, ¿eh? Pero que funcionaba muy bien, con mando, ¿eh? El Diablo 3.
In Diablo Immortal, you can use your basic primary attack as well as movement using the mouse buttons, as players will probably be familiar, using the left and right mouse buttons, and activate your abilities. By default, they're bound to 1, 2, 3,
1 al 4, la Q, el
Q.
clic, sí.
And for the first time ever in a Diablo game, we're also going to support moving using
Hostia, bueno, yo me lo vindeaba. Yo me lo vindeaba la W siempre al movimiento del ratón y así no...
It's nice to be able to move around with WASD while aiming a skill using the mouse. Feels super natural.
Pues
That's
sí.
amazing to hear. We're getting WASD controls in Diablo. I think people are also going to ask, like, how does the game look on PC?
It looks gorgeous.
Pues tiene que ver mejor.
The thing about our
A no ser que sea un móvil de última generación.
phones actually have very high resolutions. The pixel density on your phone is very high. So we can still run at a great resolution on PC, and the game just looks absolutely gorgeous.
So as you mentioned earlier, Diablo Immortal is the biggest Diablo game to date. What can players expect from this title?
Well, whether players choose to play on either mobile or PC, they'll be getting the latest in the Diablo franchise.
No, se lo van actualizando y metiendo cosas a un ritmo como los juegos de móvil, que los actualizan cada 2 semanas o cada mes. Está bien.
And there's going to be a whole main quest storyline for players to play their way through.
No
This
contes.
main quest storyline is going to explore 8 different zones throughout Sanctuary. And as you go through, the timeline is set in between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Players are going to meet up with Deckard Cain and try to
Sí, porque aquí
locate
aún estaba
fragments of the World Stone.
vivo.
Now, if players remember, at the end of Diablo 2, Tyrael had just shattered the corrupted World Stone, and those fragments were scattered all over Sanctuary. And so this is the player's opportunity to assist Deckard Cain in finding those World Stone fragments and destroying them.
So Diablo fans have always loved the loot aspect within the games. What can players expect for Diablo Immortal when it comes to loot?
Well, Diablo Immortal definitely has the familiar monster slaying action that players are familiar with. And when you kill those monsters, you want to see that loot pop out. And players will be
Y el tema de pay to win, que mucha gente puede estar pensando, esto va a ser pay to win. Ya han hablado muchas veces de eso y va a ser casi todo skins. El tema de cosas de pago. O boost de experiencia o boost de cosas así. Que no sea nada pay to win. Con mucho algo para tener que invertir menos tiempo en el juego quizás. No era nada agresivo.
I'm super stoked to hear about all the news coming for Diablo Immortal and the release date. Did you have any final closing thoughts for the community here today?
Well, it's a very exciting time. I'm very happy to be able to announce our launch date on June 2nd. And on behalf of the entire team, I want to thank everyone who's been supporting and showing their enthusiasm for Diablo Immortal. We can't wait to get the game into your hands. Now, our street date is June 2nd. But if you haven't yet already, just a reminder that you can pre-register.
Yo creo que para PC será una beta que habrá el día 2 de junio. O sea, creo que no sale directamente para PC, pero luego se comparte la información, así que veremos cómo funciona esto del lanzamiento. Vale, y hasta aquí sería el vídeo del anuncio de la versión de PC de Diablo Immortal. No lo esperábamos para nada. O sea, sabíamos que tenían que decir ya la fecha, pero lo de la versión de PC, pues no lo esperábamos, la verdad. Grata sorpresa, al menos para mí, que le tenía ganas a un Diablo de hace tiempo. Vale, porque hasta el Diablo 4 le queda bastante. Así que hasta aquí va a ser este vídeo. Si os ha gustado el vídeo, no olvidéis darle like al vídeo, suscribiros al canal si queréis ver más vídeos de Diablo Immortal cuando salga, o de otro juego gacha o de móvil que jugamos aquí en el canal. Y abajo en la descripción del vídeo tendréis el resto de mis redes sociales, mi Twitch, mi Twitter, mi Discord y Facebook. Así que hasta aquí este vídeo, nos vemos en el próximo vídeo. Chao.